Hello everyone, my name is Ren with a Pen, and welcome to another tale from the Treacherous TTRPG Tavern. Today we have a story called We Had to Call the Cops on a different player's birthday. Posted by Reddit user Aggressive Arm 9724 under the RPG Horror Stories subreddit. Last week, my party decided to take a break from the D&D campaign we're engaged in to play board games for a player's birthday. The event was held at his home and was meant to be very low-key, just 9 people playing some games, eating burgers, hot dogs, and cake. You'd think that scenario wouldn't require heavy intake of alcohol, but you'd be wrong. Problem player, not usually within the campaign itself, just in this specific situation, apparently looked around at a bunch of D&D nerds, most of whom, including me, are some level of autistic or mentally challenged, playing chess and eating donuts, and decided, hey, I'm going to down an entire liter of Captain Morgan. And he did, over the course of not even a couple of hours. Him being disastrously drunk didn't prove to be noticeable at first. We managed to play through a game of Joking Hazard just fine. It wasn't until we tried to play Betrayal at House on the Hill that his words began slurring and he couldn't even sit up straight. He also dropped the N-bomb, not in a derogatory sense, but definitely in an, oh, wait, what? What the hell did he say? Sense. And the problem player is racially ambiguous enough for me to not have been sure if it's something he could say or not. In front of one of our black players. We led him to the bathroom and just kind of forgot about him for a minute. Meanwhile, the atmosphere of the party had already begun to turn dour, having to deal with a debilitatingly drunk person. None of us knew that well. He'd only played 5-6 sessions. It's never a great time, and our DM was having a bit of a panic attack due to the stress of the situation and some sensory overload. Eventually, we got Problem Player back out of the restroom and tried to get him to sit down and eat. He pushed away all attempts, choosing to just stand around looking spaced out. Birthday Boy's mom took him aside and gruffly told him to get his act together. At which point, he tried to leave out the front door. A few of us attempted to get his keys off him so he couldn't drive, but he wouldn't allow us. When I suggested just having him sit on the couch, Birthday Boy's mom remained adamant that she wanted him out of the house. But when I suggested that we just take his keys and make him go for a walk outside, because he wouldn't tell us his address, and we therefore couldn't call an Uber for him, Birthday Boy's mom also said she didn't want him just wandering around the neighborhood either. So that dramatically cut down our options. It's difficult to remember the exact escalation of events that occurred, but Birthday Boy's mom very quickly started yelling at Problem Player, accusing him of also being on drugs simply because he had a pack of Black and Milds in his pocket, which doesn't mean anything, and then threatening to call the police, which was a bit overkill and not the first thing I'd want to do to a dark-skinned man who was just a bit too drunk and wouldn't hand over his keys. He became a bit more aggressive after hearing this, shoving people aside and eventually tried to make a run for it, at which point 4 or 5 of us had to pin him down to the ground. He then launched into the classic movie trope, tough guy, drunk diatribe. He Joker laughed, shouted, called himself a hood N-word, growled, dared us to break his fingers, said he was from Detroit, and other stuff a person who learned about being tough by watching early aughts action flicks would say. Party guests trickled out, strong neighbors trickled in, and Birthday Boy's mom ended up calling the police, but not before blaming her son for the mess. All in all, 10 out of 10 core building workout, holding down a buff drunken construction worker's arms is some intense exercise. Moral of the story: if you're at a party and it doesn't call for alcohol, don't bring and or ingest copious amounts of alcohol, because you're just going to bring down the mood. That's all from me today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.